Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, the Tijani teaching, follow only one sheikh. Many questions on this, follow only one sheikh. What does that mean? Does that mean that I cannot study any other teaching than from a sheikh of Tijani, nothing else? No, this is completely not what it means. And in this video, I'm going to show beyond a shadow of a doubt with clear proof, that that is not what it means. It's nonsense. It's a misunderstanding. Number one, many people talk about Tijani this, Tijani that, but very few have actually studied the life of Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani radiallahu anhu, the teachings of Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani radiallahu anhu. So they claim a name that of a person that they don't know. They don't know his teachings. Number one, Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani studied many different schools of Islamic science from many different teachers. And he studied also tariqah from what was then Shadiliya tariqah. Shadiliya tariqah is a large tariqah in North Africa, particularly in Morocco. Now why would Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani study Shadiliya tariqah but tell you don't? So he lived something that he teaches a student they can't do. I did it but you can't do it. Makes no sense whatsoever. You know, the friends of Allah, the awliya, they are not like that they teach something that they themselves don't practice. That's not the friends of Allah. No. Sayyidina Ibrahim Niyas, some of his teachings are from Dulnun al-Misri. What? So we should delete those books from Sayyidina Ibrahim Niyas that are about Dulnun al-Misri's teaching these maqams, you know, Amul Khas, Khasatu Khas, Yaqeen, and what more teaching? Yeah, this Siddiq, Ikhlas, this is Dulnun al-Misri. Marifa is also a concept from Dulnun al-Misri. So we should delete those teachings because they come from another sheikh. Makes no sense. Sayyidina Ibrahim Niyas took Naqshbandi Bayah. Sheikh Nazim said so. He would never lie about something like that.
Senegal was Sheikh Ibrahim Niyas. I met him. I gave him also Bayah. But he made me like this and disappearing through his emotion. Sheikh Ibrahim Niyas. In Beirut I met him.
So why did Sayyidina Ibrahim Niyas take Naqshbandi Bayah but tell you no, don't touch anything other than Tijani? Make no sense. It make no sense. And what, you go to Al-Azhar University, you cannot study anything there. If it's not a Tijani who teaches you there, you throw away the books. Come on guys, this makes no sense. It's because, you know why? Because it's not real. It's not a real teaching. It's a misunderstanding. Salatul Fatihi is not from Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani. It comes from Muhammad al-Bakri, a mystic that lived many years ago, far ago, long ago, okay? It was revealed to Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani as well. But it came later. You see, this is the problem. You don't study. People, not you personally, people don't study. They hear and say. Someone says something, you believe it, and then you go and create fitna. But you don't verify things. And when you don't test and verify things, then you don't know if it's true or not. You can easily test this claim and see that it is not what people think it means. That's number one. The awliya would never teach something that they didn't practice themselves. They follow different teachings from different shuyukh, from different tariqah. So they can't ban you from doing it. That's number one. Number two, and one clarification on number one, they are not doing that. It's other people who claim to be Tijani who misunderstand the teachings of the awliya who do that. Number two, we know by authenticity of hadith that we are waiting for Imam Mahdi alayhi salam, and we are waiting for Isa alayhi salam, second coming. So there are at least two pious people that we know are going to come after Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani. One is Mahdi, one is Isa. So when Mahdi and Isa come, you are going to reject them. Why? Because you cannot follow anyone else than Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani. That's kufr. If you reject the Mahdi, that's kufr. If you reject Isa alayhi salam, second coming, that's kufr. Because it goes against so many hadiths. That goes against the direct teaching of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The awliya is never going to teach you to reject the Mahdi. The awliya is never going to teach you to reject Isa alayhi salam or reject any of the hadiths. That's not their teaching. That's the teaching of other people and their egos. Okay? So number one was the awliya will never teach you something that they don't practice. Number two, The awliya is never going to teach you something that will create a mentality in you that you reject Mahdi and reject Isa alayhi salam. So what? Mahdi cannot be my sheikh because Tijani is my sheikh. Come on, guys. That mentality is kufr, actually. So let's be a little bit careful. Yeah. So that's also why I am clarifying this, because some of this is actually very dangerous. Be very careful who you reject. We don't know who the Mahdi is. Huh? So we have to be open. And that's number 2. Number 3 is, it's forbidden in Sharia to create sects. It's forbidden in Sharia to divide the ummah. It's one thing if you... So this is the thing. Why would the awliya teach something to you that create a stubbornness, that make you create division in the Muslim ummah? Make you see you are better than someone else? That's not from Allah. It's not from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not from the awliya. It's from men who want power. It's other people who use these names to teach you dogmas, and you don't verify it, so you don't know if it's true or not. No, but honestly, why if you think that you can only follow something that is labeled Tijani, why I say labeled is because it's not even Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani's teaching. It's someone who claims to be a Tijani. It's his teaching, but he has probably not even read a single teaching by Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani. He's just making claims. Now, why would they teach something that creates a dogmatism that is only our way, only our Islam is the right Islam, everyone else is astray? And then you're going to walk with pride and be divided against your Muslim brothers and sisters. Now you have created a sect that's forbidden according to the Quran. Now you have created division in the ummah that's also forbidden, because it says hold on to the rope of Allah and do not be divided. So now you have gone against Quran. Now why would Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani teach you something that goes against the Quran? He didn't. Sheikh Ibrahim Yas, he didn't. It's other people who teach these kinds of things. That's number 3. Number 4 is, if you study Sayyidina Ahmad Tijani's life and his way, it's about freedom. His way is liberation. You're free to follow Allah, essentially. He liberated some women and then he married them. So his way was very much about liberation. Now why would he teach you something that put you in chains? Put you in intellectual chains, mental chains, knowledge chains. You are not allowed to study this, you are not allowed to study that. Well, say Sheikh Ibrahim Yas said it's mandatory for Muslims to study knowledge. It makes no sense. It goes against his life work. It's because it's not from him. It's from other people who make claims. Let's repeat. Number 1, the awliya, why would they teach something that they didn't practice? They don't. Number 2, why would the awliya teach you something that made you reject Mahdi and Isa? They didn't. It's other people who do that. Number 3, why would the awliya teach you something that leads to a sect and division in Islam? They didn't. It's other people who create sects and divide Islam by using the teachings of the awliya or misusing them. Number 4, why would Sayyidina Ahmed Tijani, who is all about freedom and liberation, teach you something that put you in slavery and chains? He didn't. Clear proofs. You see, stubbornness has no place in Sufism. Stubbornness has no place in Tasawwuf. The one who is stubborn, I claim he's not yet a Sufi. Someone who is stubborn is not a Sufi yet, because stubbornness is ego. Stubbornness is ego. I will put a link below to the video where I describe what is the ego. In the ice, water, steam. The ice cube, that's the stubbornness, the ego. I want to be right. People have to stop being stubborn about matters of tasawwuf. This is not what it's meant to generate. So the awliya will never teach you something that leads you to stubbornness when the entire design of tasawwuf is tazkiyat al-nafs, meaning transformation of your ego, to make you less like ice cube and more like water and steam, more tolerant, more flexible, more humble. So the tasawwuf teaching of any tariqah is supposed to make you tolerant, flexible, humble, kind to other people. A Sufi is soft. A Sufi is patient and tolerant. A Sufi is patient, tolerant, soft. He's kind. He's not stubborn. He's not my way or the highway. He's not only my way, no one else. That's not the true teaching. That is the teaching of men and their ego. Now let me explain why it might be, what the intention might be, of someone saying, yeah, only follow one sheikh, as I said in the previous video, is to focus. A sheikh does not want to deal with a murid who every time argues with him on a religion. When the sheikh tries to teach you something, you come and say, no sheikh, that's not true because this sheikh said this and that sheikh said that. The sheikh don't have any time to teach someone who doesn't want to listen to him. He said, okay, then follow those sheikhs, don't follow me. If you follow me, then listen to what I have to say. That is what it means. Focus on one teaching. Don't use these other teachings just to argue and create problem in the tariqah. So that is what an intention behind one sheikh. Because now the effect is you are focused. The effect is not you are creating fitna and division and sects in Islam. The effect is your focus. You see? That's a different intention. Completely different intention. Now, for the mystic, the person who have gone deep in tasawwuf, I will explain and I will show very clearly that you can only follow one sheikh. You can never follow any other sheikh than one sheikh. This is deeper and we are going into haqiqah and ma'rifah now. The sheikh you should follow should be an arif. Why should you follow an arif? Because an arif has traveled through fana, meaning he has no ego. So when you follow a sheikh that is an arif, he has no self. It's not about him. The self is dead. So when you follow an arif, it's Allah you're following. When he speaks, it is Allah that speaks to you. You understand? So when you follow a sheikh that is an arif, you are really following Allah that is just delivering a message through a teacher to you. So when you follow an arif, it doesn't matter if you follow 4 arifs, it's the same arif you follow. If you follow 4 different persons, all of them are arif, they are gonna tell you exactly the same thing. If you go to this sheikh, he's an arif, he will tell you one advice. Another sheikh who is an arif, he will tell you the same advice. Third sheikh who is an arif, he will tell you exactly the same advice. It's the same advice because it's the same person, because the self is not there, it's only Allah. So when you're following a really arif, it doesn't matter if you follow 10 different arifs, it's always the same arif. It's always Allah that you are following. And this is the one you should follow. Not the sheikh who is not an arif, because then he has not gone through fana, he has an ego, so you will follow his ego. You will not be following Allah, so you should follow a sheikh who is dead, it's only Allah, then you're following Allah, then it doesn't matter if you follow 10,000 different arif, you will get the same advice because it comes from Allah. Is a true advice, is the true path. And the highest arif is Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Prophet Muhammad is arif from morning to evening. So there are levels to this. It's not perfect, fana or perfect. There are levels. The highest level is Prophet ﷺ. He is dead all the time. That's why when Prophet talk, is Allah that talk. That's why when Prophet cite something, we say Quran, it's come from Allah. It doesn't come from Prophet Muhammad. Quran is not Prophet's book. Why? Because Prophet is high arif. When he speak, it's Allah that speak. And that is what it means, the maqam of Rasulullah. Rasulullah is someone who only messages what Allah, not his own self. This is it. And when you are following arif, you're always following Allah. Oh, this is it. Hopefully this video is clarifying. The one who is stubborn is not a Sufi yet. The one who is stubborn has to do more zikr to melt away the ice cube that it is his ego. He's not supposed to be stubborn, he's supposed to be soft, kind, gentle to people, promote unity and love and tolerance and truth. Whenever you hear a teaching from someone, as I said before, test it, verify it to see if it is true. If you doubt it, verify, test it. When you test, you can see what is from Allah and what is from man and his nafs. No awliya from any tariqah is never going to teach you something that make you stubborn, that make you fight with other Muslims, create division, or otherwise arrogance or look you superior to other people. None. Those are teachings of people and nafs, not from Allah. Hopefully this is helpful. Assalamu alaikum.